How are we doing?
Firstly, are you here as captain today, are you?
I don't have a clue. No, I don't think so.
No.
Oh, fair enough. I know we're going back a bit, but to your debut, remember afterwards you always said that you thought, I think the word you used was froze on it.
Sorry.
A few lads who will make debuts tomorrow. I mean, what can you tell them to make sure that the occasion doesn't get to them?
What was the start of that question? Sorry, I got when you put in there. I missed it. Sorry.
On your debut, I seem to remember you said you thought you froze.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and so just the new lads coming in, like, how can you make sure they don't let the occasion get to them?
Yeah. Listen, I suppose I thought personally I did freeze, but that doesn't mean that the other young lads are going to freeze. You know, every single player is different. You know, whether they're nervous or not nervous or looking for a piece of advice. If there is people making their debut tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, listen, me and one or two of the other lads will always be here to give them advice. But just because, like I said, I felt I froze in my debut doesn't mean the next guy's going to be the exact same. So everyone reacts different to different situations.
Yeah, and just what was it like coming in this week? I mean, you could have been forgiven for having a little injury that meant you could miss this after the season you had.
No, listen, I wouldn't miss it for the world. It was my only intention was, as soon as that final finished, was organising to meet up. You know, I missed the March trip, so I hadn't been in for a while because the last one was November, and no, it was always in my schedule to be here, win, lose or draw in the final, and I was delighted to be here and met up as soon as I could.
Thanks, Conor.
No problem.
Aidan Fitzmaurice, please.
Hi, Conor. A couple of times getting up to the game, Stephen Kenny was asked if this was a must-win game. Now, Stephen batted that away. He said he didn't like the term or didn't like using that word. But because of their status, is this a game where Ireland just simply have to win this game and nothing less would be acceptable? No,
I don't. Listen, obviously we want to win every game, but must win. I'm not too sure about that. Of course, we want to win the game. We want to win every single game that we go into. But listen, we'll see how the result goes. Of course, you know, our results haven't been great, and I know we're all desperate for a win. But I think you know, we've been working on things on the training ground. Everyone just needs to take a bit of a breather and not get too caught up in that win, because we need to go out in there and play well first and foremost, and hopefully the win will follow. And sooner that comes the better. Of course, there's no getting away from that.
You said earlier you don't be getting these questions. I presume everyone is fed up with having to be asked about the run without a win.
Yeah, I think everyone is, and listen, that's down to our own fault that these questions keep coming up, because we haven't got the win that we really, really want. Hopefully that will be tomorrow night. If it's not tomorrow, hopefully Hungary, because sooner the better, obviously, because everyone seems to be mentioning it, and when it becomes more kind of in your face and people get talking about it more, people start to think about it a little bit more. So hopefully, like I keep saying, a win comes sooner rather than later, just so that takes a little bit of the pressure off and people don't point it in your face all the time. But listen, we've only got ourselves to blame from that point of view, because we should have won games up to now, but it hasn't been the case. So like you said, hopefully that will come soon.
Dylan?
Yeah, hi Conor.
How are we doing?
So, Stephen Kenny mentioned at the weekend that you got the first flight out after the playoff final to Spain.
Yeah.
How quickly did you go from London to Spain? I flew out as quickly as possible, really. We had a little bit to do with Swansea after the game, because you can't run off too quickly, I suppose. But I had pretty much one of the first flights out the next day, really. So I was really eager to get out here and making sure I'm up for selection for the Andorra game, which is tomorrow, obviously. Can I ask what it's like being a midfielder? Like, I was watching the under 21s earlier on playing Australia, and it was a very quick pass and move philosophy. The third goal was a great pass between Tyreek Wright, and Kenny mentioned fostering a culture in Ireland. You could see it because it was evolution of it slowly. What's it like as a midfielder yourself, playing in Kenny's system? How are you finding it?
Really, really enjoying it. You know, he's obviously more possession based, wants to pass the ball a little bit more than previous. So, you know, really, really enjoying it. Of course, midfielders get a little bit more touches on the ball probably than previous. So yeah, listen, the gaffer here has been brilliant to me personally, since I've been in the squad. And can't speak highly enough of him. So no, he's been fantastic, and I'm enjoying it, and I've enjoyed every time I've been any camp. You know,
you've got a short career. It blinks before you know it, and it's over. So you have to make the most of every camp that you're here. Cherish it, because it doesn't last forever.
And just one last question. I saw the FA up on Twitter about the Cork lads, the Rebels, and I spoke to Chidoz and I spoke to Johnny Egan about this as well.
Yeah.
How are you finding so many Cork names in the Irish squad?
It's brilliant. It's fantastic. You know, when I was growing up, probably when I was 15, 16, and travelling up to Dublin, it was very kind of Dublin based. A lot of Dubs in and around the teams when I was growing up. So it's great now to be at senior level, and there's so many Cork lads. You know, it's brilliant to have a few people from where you live. So no, it's brilliant. It's very, very nice to have a few Cork lads, and more the merrier.
No, brilliant. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Brendan O'Brien, please.
Hi Conor, can I just ask you one on Swansea? How do you think it went for you on a personal level since you joined the club? How would you sum it up?
Obviously, listen, the last hurdle was disappointing. That didn't go the way we wanted it to. Felt it was I probably did okay overall. Obviously, me being a harsh critic of myself, I always want more. I always, you know, I obviously wanted to win at the weekend, but that wasn't the case. So that leaves a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. But in terms of, was it more beneficial than sitting around at Villa and not really playing? I would have to say yes. You know, played a lot of games, scored some goals, got to a playoff final. Yes, it didn't go the way I wanted to, but would I have preferred to have done that or sit around at Villa? I think, for me personally anyway, I was happy enough with my decision from that point of view.
And obviously you're not going to go into any detail about the future, what you want to do, but a few lads were talking with Josh Cullen recently and how he's benefited from the move to Andorra next. Do Irish players now think about the wider picture when they're considering their future?
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to. I think it's so important for younger lads and even older lads like myself to be match fit, to be playing. I don't think enough Irish lads over the years play regularly enough. I think more could maybe consider that. For me, being 30 now, and like I've just said, in a previous question, your career goes so quick. It really, really does. You have to make the most of, you know, every day, every week, every game as much as you can. Yes, it doesn't go for you some days. Of course, if we were all great every single day, then, you know, it would be an easy game. But yeah, I think for me personally, it goes so quick. I love playing football. Like I said, having a decision between sitting around at Villa or playing at Swansea, no matter if it was Premier League or Championship, playing every day of the week. So that's just me personally. I much prefer to be playing, to be feeling match sharp, match fit, and I think it benefits you overall when people play, when and as an individual, and when I play as well.
Thanks, man. All the best.
No problem.
Okay, and Mark McCadden's finish up.
Hey Conor.
How are we doing?
Just given the kind of hectic nature of all the previous international camps under Stephen Kenny, does this almost feel like your first proper introduction to him and to what he wants out of you guys?
No, not really. I suppose we've had a few trips now with the manager. Obviously, it's been chaotic the previous trips. This is probably the first kind of calm trip, and there hasn't been, you know, any positives or close contacts or anything like that. Injuries so far has, touch wood, been okay. So it feels like a more calm squad, because the last few ones, like I said, have been all over the place with people dropping out and new faces and isolating and all the rest of it. So but in terms of the manager and these points that he's getting across in the detail, that's not new, because he's been doing that from the very start. So no, I wouldn't say that it feels the way that kind of you said it just there.